bonus tip for your comment section too. So if you have a reel that's popping off and people are fighting in the comments, pin a comment where someone is defending you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today on another episode of the Walkthrough Podcast presented by BAM, your go-to marketing and branding podcast. On this show, we dive into the ever-changing world of social and share the latest tactics and strategies that are working right now from some of the brightest minds in the business. My name is Dan O'Neill, team leader in New York and Florida, and we are in one and have a great episode for you all today and another special announcement. Joining me today is my co-host, the handsome Mr. Eric the Broke Agent Simon. We have Miss Lindsay Joe, and we have Mr. Dan McKinnon. Today we are talking Instagram's comment strategy. Eric, what is working today on comments? We're talking our favorite marketing of the week, our best videos, and our 60-second social tip, and much, much more. And Eric is going to be announcing, it feels like every week this guy's got another announcement here, another promo code, but it actually is a big announcement. So make sure you stay until the end. You guys ready?
We're ready. Let's do it. Dan, this was something amazing that Lindsay Joe sent me. This is a tactic that I have never heard of before in my entire life, and nothing gets by me, Dan. Any tactic that pops up, whether it's Brock Johnson or whether it's Jason Pantana, Gary Vaynerchuk, I know it right before them because I am the Adrian Wojnarowski of social media. But Lindsay sent me this, and I've never seen this before. So, Haley, let's play this. This is a new comment strategy from this woman, Julia Broom. And I want to get everybody's thoughts. And then we're going to go over our comment strategy that we do on Instagram.
SEO tip that no one talks about is to be very strategic with the words you're using when you're responding to your comments. This is something that I do all the time, and you probably don't even realize it. Instagram and TikTok's algorithm is very sophisticated, and it's tracking all of the words that you're using in your comment section. For TikTok, you can actually see that the algorithm detects certain words you're using in your comment section, and it will show you that on the back end. Instagram does the same exact thing, you just can't see it. So next time you're replying to your comments, which you should be replying to every single comment, try to use even more keywords so that the algorithm can continue to recognize what you're talking about and push you out to the right people. Let me know if you want me to elaborate on the specific keywords you should be using.
So how about that, huh? SEO-driven comments. I used to think it was just in the profile or just in the caption, but apparently if you're commenting back to each other and using words like Long Island real estate, Dan, then maybe your profile or that post would get picked up. So I want your guys' thoughts on it and what your comment strategy is. So Lindsay, Joe, I'll start with you. Thank you for sending that video. That is new information to us. What is your comment strategy? What did you think of this video?
Yeah. So I respond to every comment and I mention that person's name when I reply back to their comment. So if they comment something, I'll respond and say, like, thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate you. I really want every follower to know that I see them and I really appreciate them taking the time to engage with my content. I feel like people just really want to feel connected to you. And the more they feel valued and heard, the more appreciated they feel. And if they feel appreciated, they'll hopefully stay with me forever and ever. So that's one thing I do. And I also have a bonus tip for your comment section too. So if you have a reel that's popping off and people are fighting in the comments, pin a comment where someone is defending you. So I had an open house reel that I posted that went crazy, tons of views and shares, and people were fighting in the comments saying I was dumb for spending so much money on an open house and just being like complete assholes. Well, someone stuck up for me and basically said, I can't believe this comment section. You guys are so mean. Lindsay's doing a great job. Don't hate on her. So I pinned that comment because when people click on my comment section, they are going to see that comment of someone defending me. And now, guess what? They're going to want to scroll through that comment section and see who was an asshole, see who was a troll. So they're just spending more time on that piece of content.
Also, the defensive comment gets more likes. So you could do a little narrative change there. I like that. Piggybacking off of what you just said, if people are fighting in the comments, doing a reel responding to one of the comments could help gas up and continuize the reel that's already doing well. So if someone's talking shit to you in a reel comment, do a real green screen response to that comment, and then that will keep boosting that video. Dan McKinnon.
Eric, is that called engagement farming here? Is that engagement farming?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I don't really know what the definition of engagement farming. Yes, Dan O'Neill.
Neither do I. I have a second question here. So if we were to really niche down here because we want to be optimizing our SEO, How would I? Can you use an example, maybe, of how I would use Long Island real estate in replying back to a comment for SEO purposes?
Yeah, I mean, if you are hosting an open house in Long Island
Mhm.
and someone is commenting, asking a question about the open house, you could say like, it's on one of the nicest streets in Long Island, or this is one of the nice real estate properties in Long Island, or
Okay.
you make sure you come to my open house in Long Island. So just kind of emphasizing that right there. Dan McKinnon, what are you doing for your Instagram comment strategy?
I'm making sure to highlight the neighborhoods, kind of like Dan was just saying. If people are saying, "Hey, I love this house," you always try to tag, "Hey, I also love this neighborhood in Sarasota." Like, I'm in Sarasota, but there's so many different neighborhoods. So I think it's important. And what Instagram's really giving us now is a platform to really build up content over time. So if you want to transfer that into maybe more of your content, giving people more questions to have, like, where's this neighborhood at? I really like this street it's on, and you can tag more of, not tag, but use content that's more driven towards certain neighborhoods or areas. Secondly, I do think that commenting is huge. So on any of your content, I'm always trying to be sarcastic or ridiculous or funny, kind of going off of like other people in passive commenter sites. Last week I got a comment on some like just general media site that had 15,000 likes, and I got probably 100 new followers, and it happened to be just on like some other news site from something like that. So I think it's important to always do two things: educate in the comments to use towards your SEO strategy with any keywords that go with it. And SEO, for anyone that's listening, is search engine optimization. So you're really basically bulking up keywords that have to do with what you're doing. And then the second thing is stand out. So if you can make a funny joke, make some sort of formal gesture towards something that makes it stand out, then I think that's pretty big.
15,000 likes on one comment and 100 follows. So everyone thinks if you only have to get followers, or you could only get followers from posting content, but you could get followers from commenting on other people's. This is the Gary V $1.80 strategy.
Mhm.
This is a strategy I've been talking about forever. I grew the Broke Agent brand for years, commenting on Brian Surham, Inman News, Housing Wire, accounts that at the time were way bigger than mine, to try to get more engagement. And now it's a gamified game, right? Like, you could comment on something and get a bunch of likes, get pinned. There's a reason like Actually Agents and I comment on each other's accounts now. It's to boost more followers. So make sure that you're doing that. Danny Deals, what's your comment strategy besides using 16 different ghost accounts to boost your own engagement?
That is actually that is option A. So every time I post something, I rally the troops. So what I do is I text both Eric, Matt Leonetti, Tom Toole, sometimes even Byron, and we get the engines going. We get the troops going, right? So we all comment on each other's posts. There we go. That's a secret number one. The second thing that I do is then I go into my own accounts and I comment 9 different times from each and every single one of my own Instagrams, and then I reply back to those comments and pin them. So right off the bat, I'm looking at about 40 comments. Additionally, what I do is I then go to my Slack channel and I make my entire organization and everybody that's on W2 comment on it. So now I'm looking at about 120, and that's before anyone's even seen the video. No, I'm kidding, but not really. No, what I'm trying to do to get comments is ask questions right in the caption, like agree or disagree, comment your favorite, guess the price, and then like Lindsay mentioned, I am responding back to as many as humanly possible. And like Eric and Dan aforementioned as well, I am also commenting on Dave Portnoy's stuff, Miss Peaches, trying to be funny, trying to make jokes,
Yeah.
trying
to get
follows.
the stoolies to follow you. I like that.
I'll take anybody at this point, my brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of the idea there. Basically, just go create like 15 accounts like Dan has, like Eric has. Lindsay actually has a few as well. And have all of your friends comment on your stuff and build a team just so that way they can comment on your Instagram. That's how you get engagement.
I'm going to rebut that for a second, Dan. So I've actually spoken to Luca of Actually Agents. He says that is the worst thing that you could do for your content, is because Instagram is aware of false engagement strategies like that. So if you have text groups or you have Slack groups where a bunch of people comment on it at once, Instagram picks that up as inorganic. So you need people, even if you like text them the link to something saying, hey, comment on this. I think Instagram kind of realizes like, oh, this person's not discovering this, and then might possibly suppress that engagement.
I wonder if
that's just a rumor.
That's just a rumor. I wonder if that comes from direct link clicks, if you're sharing the link. So I wonder if you said to someone, go to my page and click it, if that would be a different strategy.
That would, I think. I think that would.
Obviously, Instagram knows the analytics of where it's coming from. So if it's a direct link hit in that first 5 minutes instead of an organic find.
I think that's the move is you just text the person, say, hey, I just posted, and then you could organically find it on Instagram.
Yes.
That's a smart move, Dan. That's the best hack here.
Well,
Also, here's another one. In the comment section, ask more questions in the comments, right? So if someone says, hey, I really like this neighborhood in Sarasota, you could say, hey, really? What do you like about this neighborhood in Sarasota? Tell me more. Then they comment. Now you have 3 comments per every comment. So then you're tripling your comments immediately by asking questions. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, that is a great idea. Sometimes I'll just say, "How are you doing? How's it going? Keep crushing. How's everything? Just again engagement farming." But you're right, Eric. When we text in that group chat, we say, "Hey, we need troops." We don't post the link. But what I'm doing in my Slack channel, that was not advice. That was just what I am doing to to get engagement because my content is nobody's seeing it anyway. So I just want the vanity metrics there of the comments anyway. So
I appreciate the transparency though there, and I think it's fine to have a couple ghost accounts.
Yeah.
Like I would start conversations with the bad real estate picks account, the over ask account, have funny comments going back and forth. And then here's another tip, like Lindsay's, pinning a comment, like you said, whether there's a battle going on, but pinning a comment that you know is just going to get more engagement. So if Dan McKinnon says something hilarious, that's more content in itself. So it's like, here's the post, here's the caption, here's the comment, and the comment is equally as funny. Now they're just engaging more and more. And I got one more strategy for you.
Ooh.
Turn on the post notifications of bigger accounts.
Yes.
And then that way you could comment immediately on them, and then you will rack up more likes.
That's how I got that one. So I have a couple post notifications from a couple Barstool pages and a couple larger ones, like larger news sites, that usually always have some BS in the comments. So I'll always just try to jump in there right when it's posted. And if you're one of the first like 20 comments and people start liking it, it will just go right up to the top. And here's the thing about that is if you get people clicking on your profile, make sure you have engaging comment or content that's up pinned there. So because people are going to just click and be like, oh, this person's funny, or oh, I know someone that wants to move to Long Island, or oh, this is really cool what she's doing on this to emphasize. And I think that that's the bigger thing is use it as a funnel to get to your page, and then use your pins there to really push your best stuff. So if someone came there, it's a one-page profile of you.
Yeah, that's a genius tip. Making sure your profile is optimized. And Dan's, you know what the best way to make sure your profile is optimized? We have a literal course of this in BAMX. I just launched it, the profile optimization course. I have a course about what you should comment on people's accounts, who you should follow. It's an entire Instagram course, lead magnets, everything you want. Use code WALKTHROUGH, WALKTHRU for 10% off. And you will get access to the profile optimization course and all of our other content. Much, much more. Thank you for that layup, Dan. That was fantastic.
Look at that timing. That was almost like Adam Masari called you ahead of the show and told you to create that. So that way, when we talked about the article, it was ready to go. That was
And how about this, Dan? Let us know in these comments, in these YouTube comments. Let's get a little comment strategy. Let's get a little conversation going on in these comments about what your comment strategy is. So comment something funny. Oh my God.
was that an atomic
Adam
bomb?
Masari? Oh my God. That scrambled my brains. Was that Instagram?
What was that?
Anyway, I don't know what that was. Jeez. All right. Anyway, moving on to let us know in the comments something funny. Comment something.
Something funny for 30% off your BAM subscription. I can't hear anything. My ears are absolutely ringing. Anyway, all right. Speaking of comment farming, by the way, last week's episode, we asked everybody to drop their Instagram handles to go follow them, and it worked.
It did. And we are in the process of following all those people right now. So drop your Instagram handle in the comments, and all 3 of us will go on a following spree. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, make sure that you're following us, though. I mean,
make sure you're following us, too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, let's get into the marketing tips. What's working for us in real estate marketing? Lindsay, I will kick it off with you. What's working for you right now?
Okay. It's about to be long, so I'm sorry, but it's a lot of value. So what's working in my marketing right now is day in the life content. So I posted a reel about an open house that I held. And right now that reel is at 87,000 views, 2,700 shares, 2,000 saves, like 541 hours of watch time. And I gained a little over 1,000 new followers. So because I've been doing more day in the life content, I have a few tips for agents to really stand out in those day in the life reels. So number one, the way that you start the video is really important. I think we're moving away from these like super dramatic and polished hooks that draw you in. And I feel like my audience right now really just wants to like get to know me and see what I'm doing. So I start these videos just by saying, come along with me as I get ready for my open house today, or come along with me as I meet a new Zillow buyer today. So for the agents who are watching, just start these clips off like really relaxed and just say, come along with me as I fill in the blank. So that's tip number 1. Number 2, before I film these videos, I go into it knowing the 4 things that I want to highlight in that video. So for that open house reel, I knew that I wanted to highlight 4 things. 1, that I created custom door hangers and door knocked the street. 2, that I rented a Kona ice truck for the neighborhood. And I had people scan a QR code to get Kona ice so I could like show my back end systems. And then 4, I wanted to show that I got a massive open house sign professionally installed from a company called Card My Yard. So the tip is, before you film these videos, think about 4 key things that you can share in your reel that would be interesting and shareable for your audience. As I've started doing more day in the life content, I realized that having these key moments in that reel are really, really important. I used to do these reels and they were like all over the place. I'd be like, I went to this coffee shop and then I went to see this house and then I made my dog scrambled eggs. And it was just like too much. You really just need 4 key points and go really deep on those 4 key points, but make sure those 4 key points are interesting and shareable and savable for your audience. So that's tip number 2. 3, this is really important. I'm not showing my face in these reels. So I start them off with my face and then it's straight into B-roll. And then to make these videos, I use the voiceover feature in Instagram. So a little tip for these reels, I type out my script. So type out your script of like what you want to say in your video, add that script into a Word doc. Then I add all my clips into Instagram and then I read the script while the clips are going in Instagram so I know where to shorten the actual clips. And then I download the video and then I add it into CapCut, add captions and graphics. So that's tip number 3. I have one more. Number 4, the cover photo of these reels, it's really, really important. So for that open house reel, I had text on the cover photo that said a $425 open house, like with a question mark and a scared emoji face. You see that, immediately you're going to want to click on that, right? So I've been doing this more lately, like paying attention to my cover photos, and I've noticed a big increase in my views. So some cover photos that I've done, like $3,400 per month for 3 Zillow leads. Another one was discreet DC brunch locks your phone away. Stay top of mind with clients using these 3 strategies, or like 3 strategies you need to convert online leads. So you want to use numbers in your cover photos. Numbers convey a clear strategy and an endpoint for the viewer. They feel like they know what they're getting into when they click on that video, and they're more likely to watch until the end, which increases your watch time. So sorry that was
There's a
long.
reason Brad McCollum. No,
Those were
that was
really good.
gold. All really good. There's a reason
Sunday
Brad
service.
McCollum uses numbers on every single YouTube thumbnail. It's an $800,000 house in Calgary, a $1.2 million house in Calgary, because that is what gets people to click. Anytime you use numbers like increase your following by 10,000 or something like that in any sort of YouTube title or thumbnail, it crushes. And I love that cover photo strategy because people go back on your profile like it's a YouTube page, right? So if someone discovers your content from a Dan McKinnon comment, 15,000 people go, they look at his profile, and then he's got a bunch of cover photos. Then they're going to go back and be like, oh, this one from 5 weeks ago, come with me at this $420 open house. They're going to click on that one. It's going to get more views. Great strategy. By the way, one more strategy for you, Lindsay. If you're making your dog scrambled eggs, on and off the heat, right, Dan? On and off the heat. It keeps them wet. Keep them moving around, a little chive and a little creme fraiche. Right, a little creme
Chive.
fraiche. People know
I
what
think
I'm
those
talking
are. I
about.
think that's
wait,
I don't know,
why,
not
Eric?
chive.
Wait, why do you do that, Eric?
Maybe not chive. I don't know. The green
kill
things,
your dog.
chives.
No,
Okay. Don't do that. Then.
Yeah.
Forget
Forget the chives for the
Forget the
dog.
chives.
It's
but
the
Eric,
Gordon
why
Ramsay technique.
Why do you do the heat on off method again? You mentioned
Keeps them
creamy.
liquidy. Keeps them creamy. Okay.
Mhm.
We talked about this last episode. Let us know in the comments if you're making your eggs different. Dan McKinnon, you had something to say.
Yeah, before I get into some strategies that are working, I do want to say, after listening to Lindsay's stuff, I do think that some of the stuff we've been talking about for Instagram is really mimicking YouTube. In the fact that I really wonder if Instagram's changing some of their algorithms, which I'm going to get into in a second. And some of these things are changing between SEO and cover photos. Those are 2 big things that are always focused on YouTube. So it's one of those things to watch in terms of, is Instagram going to start pushing for longer videos? How's this going to work out? I know they kind of went short, so we'll see. Go into my strategies that are working. one of the things that I was going to say is this new Instagram algorithm change has really changed up a lot of things. And one of the things that I've seen through a couple of the different pages that I run is that I'm getting a ton of organic reach to people that do not follow me right off the bat. For a long period of time, there was, you'd only get 90% of people that follow you, 10% that don't, and you'd get that off hashtags or shares. Right off the bat, I've seen about 2 weeks now of multiple reels getting 50 to 60% organic shown to other people before my own followers. So you got to keep that in mind when showing new people stuff. Know that they're not already following you. So kind of keep the storyline going with that. Small business shout outs. It's always been around, but it's working for me here in Florida in the stories. Obviously, it'd be better if it was on film and in going on a reel, but I will say with stories and shouting out other people, people have been engaging a ton with it, and it really boosts my profile. So I've been really seeing a ton of growth with stories and shouting out people because it's an easy share for them. They don't feel like they're super married to me if I'm trying to collab on something. People are pretty like held tight to that recently. So the stories kind of give you a huge limitless behavior. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, people say you can't grow on stories, but you can if someone reshares your story, right? So if you're tagging a local business and that local business shares that to their Instagram story and they're checking out Dan McKinnon, they're going to go to his profile.
Well,
And then
and
they're going
if
to
you
follow
come
him.
from contribution and the fact that it's just like, hey, this is my favorite restaurant. Hey, this
Yeah.
is where I go to the gym. Hey, and here's the thing. Most of us that are at this pretty hardcore, we may not have a bigger following, but we have a more dedicated following than a lot of businesses. So you have to think that you have a bigger impact than you think. So making those stories and showing off that business is a huge thing for those business owners, and they're going to be thankful. They may not share it, but in the end, you're doing something in your community and you're making an impact.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Great point.
Oh, yeah.
Danny Deals, why don't you tell us what's working for you? Because I saw a little video that you posted this week.
Yeah, get the chirps out now. You saw the video comparing myself.
Saw the video.
Yeah, so I did a video, and I'll get into what's working. This was just grip it and rip it, right? Just shotgun. Just this is what's on my mind here. Created a broadcast channel. I asked people what they wanted more of. This was some of it, right? Just some mindset things and things that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day that you might not know people are dealing with. Thanks, Dan McKinnon, for just having the biggest sneeze I've ever heard in my entire life. Mid point here. So I put out a video of like not comparing yourself to other people, right? It's very, very easy for myself to compare, me to you, let's say, right? And you have all these followers and you have a ton of engagement, but yet you've been doing it for 5 years nonstop. So how could I compare myself to you, right? And it kind of strips away a little bit of the joy that I think that comes with social, but also just our business. So I posted that yesterday. So Eric, go ahead and give me the chirp, brother, man. I'm lobbing this over to you.
No, I thought it was I thought it was, first off, I want to address the broadcast channel.
Yeah.
What are you doing in the broadcast channel?
So I'm having a tough time keeping up with DMs, and I think kind of people are getting frustrated. I mean, it's kind of difficult to keep up as many conversations, and I'm not using AI. I'm not using ManyChat. Everything that you see that's on my Instagram is typed out by these stupid thumbs. But I think that's what kind of comes with the how genuine it is and the authenticity. But at the same time, I'm having a trouble communicating. And so I created this broadcast channel for more of kind of just a brain dump and maybe just to make life easier than going back and forth and DMing. And I did it by posting a video, and I have 2 more that are on deck. And I named it Real Estate Marketing and Sales Tips. Really, really,
Good.
really,
Question mark.
Yeah, with a question. Yeah, with a question mark. With a question mark. And, that's where we're at. Inspiration from you.
I like it. I like the video in the broadcast channel because those one-on-one videos, right, are probably more important than the videos you actually post. So if you're sending a one-on-one video to your client, this is another way to do that, where you could name something specific like Long Island real estate content, Long Island real estate homes, and you're basically sending these one-on-one videos to your clients because they can't necessarily respond.
Yeah.
So all good points there, Dan. All good points. I will say this though.
Yeah.
In that video where you were saying don't compare your chapter 1 to your chapter 10, and then you can I think you quoted Teddy Roosevelt.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his quote?
That is, yes.
Okay.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
The thief of joy for me is Eric the broke agent Simon and from
exactly. Well, I'm gonna take the joy out of you right now because I think comparison is extremely important. I helped build my brand around comparison, looking at the competition. Some people may disagree with this, but when I look at what Actually Agents is doing, or Housing Wire, or Inman News, or Ryan Serhant, it fires me up, right? It gives me inspiration to see, okay, maybe this person's at chapter 15 and I'm still at chapter 2 of Prisoner of Azkaban, but I will at least know where I can get to, and I could at least see this person, say, oh, what's this person doing that I could take little tidbits away from, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan Serhant's doing more story content. Maybe there's a reason he's doing that. I'm going to mimic that, right? So I think looking at the competition and trying to destroy the competition is actually a good move.
But that's using them as inspiration. I mean, I do the same thing. Comparing would be like, okay, well, how does Ryan Serhant have 2 million, followers, but I only have 500,000, right? Like, and then you start racking your brain and you start to, drive yourself nuts, or you lose your hair like you had done 3 years ago. Or like, if, Jake Yeagerman, I'm comparing myself to him. The kid's in Cancun every single weekend. It's one of Eric's best friends. What am I doing wrong that I'm not in Cancun every single weekend, right? That's the comparison angle. But Jake is, 9 years older than I. Jake is very intelligent. Jake is, all these things, his master's degree, right? So it's a different level of comparison here. But using Ryan and Dan and Lindsay and you as inspiration, or even just as like a little fuel, no problem. But it's when you compare.
I think that it's
great
really
point.
important.
PTI points for Dan.
It's very important to keep on task and keep growth going, but you have to continue reminding yourself that part of that quote that we're going to think about more is the comparison, but it's joy. You have to make sure you're happy. Are you enjoying what you're doing? Like, it's great and all to grow and make $1 million and do all this, but like at the end of the day, are you happy? So you can compare yourself to everybody, but like, are they actually happy? And who gives a crap if they are happy? Because it really just depends on you. So I like what you said, Dan, because like for me, comparison is a mother effer, and I think that it's really hard. And yeah, you can use it to inspire you, but don't let it get yourself down. Don't let it stop you from creating content or sharing your voice. And everyone has a story, so get it out there and forget money, man. Just be happy.
Dan, did you just say remind yourself? Because Dan, you know what agents should do is they should check out a resource called Reminder Media. Because if you're an agent looking to stand out from the crowd, Reminder Media is a resource you have to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters, and social media content. Reminder Media delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot. You don't even have to think about it, Dan, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business come in. Check out the link below to check out Reminder Media. Dan McKinnon, it's like we're Kobe and Shaq right now. You were just giving me alley-oop layups against Portland in the 1999 Western Conference Finals. You know that dunk?
Those were the good days.
Kobe,
those were the good days.
Those were the good days.
Eric, you're on fire, brother, man. 25 points for you over there. Sheesh.
Well, I think you beat me in that debate on the previous segment. All right, let us know in the comments what you think of Dan McKinnon. All right, moving on to the final segment. By the way, keep watching this, because right after this segment, we have an announcement that is going to blow your eyeballs out of your sockets. They're going to be dangling down by your neck by the end of this. You're going to be knocking them back and forth like you're in Futurama.
If I compare myself to one more Adam Asari video, I might use those eye sockets to hang myself. I see one more nose black.
Just going back and forth like a pendulum. Your eyes will be going like that. All right, let's get into the best thing you've seen this week. All right, Lindsay Joe, what's going on? What's the best thing you've seen this week?
Okay. My favorite thing that I've seen all week was a reel posted by the Barrett team out of Redding, California. So if we can play it really quick, and then I'll tell you what I loved about it.
I know them. I like these people.
Yeah, they're good.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Meet my amazing client, Daniel. Daniel and his girlfriend, Angie, reached out to me over social media with the desire to sell their current home and buy something better all at the same time. His biggest question was, would that even be possible? With strategizing a concrete game plan, we got to work with our marketing plan to make this a seamless process. After obtaining a solid offer and a buyer on their home, the search for their next home equaled to 37 house tours and a dozen of open houses. But number 37 became home. Congrats, Angie and Dan. You guys are some of the best, and I'm thankful to have been the one to help you find what you never thought you could achieve.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
So good.
I love it. Okay, let me tell you the 27 things that I loved about this. Okay, I love that they use the reverse effect in the video. I love that she posted the actual screenshot of her conversation with her client. I do this a lot. I post screenshots all the time. People love to see screenshots. Like when someone texts you a screenshot, immediately you think you're about to like get the tea and you want to read that screenshot right away. So when you share screenshots, your followers immediately stop because they feel like they're getting like yeah. Go ahead, Dan.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Are you
No, you're
asking
fine.
for permission before you do that?
No, but that was what I was going to say next. Bonus tip on screenshots: scribble out some of the words and the text. That does really well because people stop when they see that because they feel like you're spilling a secret because part of that message is hidden. So they're more likely to like stop and read it or replay that reel to see if they can try to like figure out what that text says. So I loved that. I also love that she like showed the process of her going in MLS, adding the listing. Those types of clips do really well because it's like a true behind the scenes of what you do as an agent, and the movement of those clips do really well because they keep your eye engaged. It's not something that you see in your feed all the time. And I love that she showed all 37 houses that she showed them. I thought it was brilliant to like show how hard she was working for her clients. And I love that she collabed with her clients, like collab with your clients so you can get in front of their audience on Instagram. It's genius to do this. I've been doing that recently, and it's great because you get in front of their audience, and it's just it's great. So I liked that reel. I feel like there's a lot of tactical tips that agents can take from it.
Yeah, selling the experience, which we brought up on the last episode, where it shows the celebration at the beginning. The video could stop there, but then it shows the entire process from the MLS search, the 37 homes, showing that it's not, hey, you just saw this home, you just sold it, let's celebrate. It was so good. Go ahead, Dan.
The coolest part about that had to be the fact that most of the viewers could put themselves into that story. And they did such a great job right from the beginning, making it so you could put yourself in there, whether you're a realtor or a buyer or seller. And just that, and the fact that it's just an endless video where they could take that concept and do it over and over every year because it's such a great video.
Yeah.
And they even talked about how they showed 37 homes.
Yeah, 37. I feel like that is such a memorable gift for your clients too. Like that's so much better than like a branded cutting board or like a coffee cup that has your logo on it. They're going to remember that forever, that you created that like really special piece of content for them. And then they're going to share it with their friends and family and say, hey, we moved. And then you're sparking conversations about your real estate career without even trying, because their friends and family are going to be like, well, who made that video for you? They're going to be like, my awesome realtor, the broke agent made it for me. You know, you're sparking those conversations. So maybe not the broke agent.
My awesome realtor uttered those words before in their life. My awesome real estate agent, the broke agent. All right, Dan McKinnon, follow that up, my friend. What do you got?
Oh man, so best thing that happened in my sphere on this was this girl from St. Pete that did this awesome walkthrough. I loved it though, because here's the thing: it wasn't her listing. She did this walkthrough, and I think one of the biggest things that's going on right now is if you're not in real estate and you're new, you're facing a lot of stuff that's coming up against you, whether it be the lawsuits or all the results of that and everything going on. This is a great way to make a simple walkthrough video that is super genuine, that people can see who you are. Play it.
St. Pete today at this fully restored bungalow home. Let's go check it out. And this is where you're going to drink your morning coffee. Prepared to be wowed. Would you like some salad? I'll take some scrambled eggs, please. Skylights, vaulted ceilings, what more could you want? Did you say storage in St. Pete? Here's your primary bedroom. These floors go crazy. I'm not a fan of grays, but they did something here. And did I mention storage? How do I look, cameraman? This is where you'll make your money to afford this house. If you buy this house, I better be invited to the summer parties. Only a few streets left here in St. Pete that have this original brick. If you want to see this house, DM me.
So good.
Yeah, so I just loved how the energy that comes off it. I get a lot of my business off of Instagram, and I think that most of the people that don't know your sales numbers, they don't know how you are dealing with negotiations, they don't know a lot of things, but what they do read is your energy and the authenticity that you give the viewer. And I think that this type of video is going to get immediate clicks, immediate DMs that say, hey, I've been looking in St. Pete. Hey, I've been looking at some houses. Could you show me something like that? And I just think that that's a really good, easy way for agents to get the conversation going.
Yeah, immediate smiles when they popped up on screen. I like here's where you could drink your morning coffee, and just the back and forth between the two, having two showing agents. It was so good.
Yeah.
Energy is contagious, right? Like even if you didn't know St. Pete, which is one of the best places on planet Earth, you wouldn't have known that was their listing or not. It's just their energy was, Courageous. I'm not courageous. I'm sorry. Was what's the word I'm looking for here?
Contagious.
Courageous.
Contagious. Courageous.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes. Eric.
Dan, who was Theodore Roosevelt?
He was the president of the United States during, I believe, 1946, 47, during the Roswell incident.
Do you know why
I think that was
the teddy bear?
I think that was.
Did I just slam dunk that? Did I just jam that down your gullet? Was that right?
No, I don't think you did. I think he was president from 1901 to 19.
Hold on.
I don't know, 08 possibly.
Teddy Roosevelt here. Let's see. He was the 26th
I think
president.
26, yeah, probably early 1900s.
Yeah. Is there a second one? Teddy
Yeah,
Roosevelt.
FDR.
Oh, okay. You were right. I was wrong, but at least I got it. He was still the president. So 50.
I know. That was good. That was good. Remember when you thought Thomas Edison was Pablo Picasso in Dallas?
Mozart.
Yeah, Mozart. Yeah, he thinks like artists and painters, exactly, and philosophers are all part of the same group.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the best thing you've seen, Eric?
Oh, okay, there we go. Dan, this is going to shock you, but the best thing I've seen this week is actually from Brooks Landry, believe it or not, who actually posted a reel about real estate for the first time ever. In fact, Dan, I just saw this. He changed his profile pic to an actual house, which is one of the most diabolical moves I've ever seen. This is not a joke. Go to the Brooks Landry group on Instagram. I think that's his profile. He changed his profile pic to a house. But someone go check on Brooks. But this reel is a perfect way to get the most out of your home tours and open houses. Damn it. All right, here. Let me rephrase that hook again. This reel is a perfect.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, buddy.
These clips always do well, so I gotta get that perfect.
Yeah. All
right. We're not cutting any of this. This is fun. Everyone, this is what you do in a little podcast episode for people that are tuning in. If you're trying to get some good clips out of it, and the clip sucks or the hook sucks, reframe it and then just cut around it. Right? There's a reason that I'm doing this right now. Dan, I see you shaking your head. You're not approving of this method, McKinnon?
Oh, I love this method.
You like this method?
This is awesome.
This is the best method. However,
here we go, everyone. Let's try that again.
I love the fact that you're not going to cut it, though. That's the best.
We're not going to cut it.
No,
don't cut this. All right, here we go.
Yeah. All right, ready?
This reel. All right. This is a perfect way to get the most out of your home tours and open houses for your content.
Summer's right around the corner. Maybe you want a backyard with a barbecue, a pool to take a late night dip. You want to entertain, maybe throw on your favorite Suns Out, Guns Out shirt. I'm showing you what I think is the 3 best backyards of active homes for sale in San Ramon and Danville. Let's go. Let's start this baby off in San Ramon, coming in at number 3, a tick under $2.5 million. We're not going to mess around. Going straight to the backyard. Few things I love about this backyard. Pool, huge. Lot, huge. Complete privacy, love it. Barbecue, fire pit, basketball court. Once you bring your mother, your brother, your father, your best friend, I'll take you all one-on-one. This one is a solid number 3. Now, this one was really tough. Coming in at number 2 is Lisa Doyle's new listing in San Ramon, just a little under $2.9 million. But I want to show you the backyard and most importantly the ADU because I love the investment aspect of it. This has got an insane ROI, not just for this seller, but the next one. I love the fact that the backyard's a blank slate. It's open to the imagination. I can build my pool, put my jacuzzi in. I love this opportunity. And coming in at number 1 is in downtown Danville. Listen, if we were talking location, this baby wins 100% of the time. But we're talking backyards and it still pulled the number 1, just under $3.5 million. The backyard's got it all. It's got privacy, it's got full-grown trees, it's got an insane pool. You could hold weddings back here. It's got a full built-out ADU with a bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, the whole 9 yards. Guys, let me know out of these 3, which one is your favorite? Comment below.
Hell yeah.
All right, first off, that hoop is probably only 6 feet tall if Brooks is grabbing it by the rim. But honestly, that was a great video. We give Brooks a lot of crap, but I thought that video was great the way it started in his car. So it's like a setting change. He's setting up the video. We know that we're going to see 3 backyards. So you're going to stay till the end. They're not necessarily his listings, right? So he's using other people's listings, which is a strategy we just talked about.
Yep.
And, the engaging CTA at the end, like let us know your favorite backyard. And just his commentary throughout. It was fast moving. Yeah. The editing was great. The background music, great execution by Brooks. Maybe we should have him back on the show, Dan. Maybe he deserves to come back now.
If he changes his profile picture back to himself and not the house from the Stranger Things, then yes, 100%. But that is a textbook 10 out of 10 video there. I was laughing in the beginning just because he's in his car and that the outfit mixed with like his Boston accent in the Bay was like a little bit funny. Bring your mother, your father, your mother. I'll dunk on all you. And he's like, and welcome to Lisa Mangino's $4.3 million listing here. Yeah. Huge. And then he was very professional. So yeah, very, very good video. But that's why I was laughing in the beginning. Shout out to Brooks.
Shout out Brooks. Brooks is great on video.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, I got a big announcement, everybody. Today, if you're watching this today, we just released this to the public. On October 18th, we are throwing BAM Mania officially. The biggest real estate conference, the only in-person conference that we're doing this year at the beautiful Circa Hotel Resort and Casino just off the Strip. It is going to be incredible. We have an amazing speaker lineup. There's a link down in the description right now. And if you comment the word BAM Mania, I'm going to send one of you a 25% discount off right now. So comment the word BAM Mania right now, and I'm going to personally find you and message you a 25% discount to these tickets. So October 18th, we will see you at the Circa Hotel in Las Vegas. Early bird special right now. Link down in the description and in the comments for that. Everybody, thank you so much. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of it. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Go follow Lindsay Joe for the videos, the B-roll videos, for the listing videos, for the collabs. Go follow Dan McKinnon if you want to smile every single day. And go follow Danny Deals, but make sure you don't compare yourself to him because he's at your chapter 15. And you guys are just at chapter 2.
Hey, by the way, Eric, how many percentages are you giving out this episode, huh? According to my calculations over here, Theodore Roosevelt and you are giving out, what, 55% off? You get 30.
You wouldn't know Teddy Roosevelt if you walked in there and sat on your head. You wouldn't know the difference. You wouldn't know the difference between him and Bartolo Colon. So
you wouldn't know the difference between a ranch and a colonial. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no one taught us that. No one taught us that. They should have taught us that in real estate school. All right, everybody. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody.